All of you, a very good noon. Hi Varun, hello Apurva. Yes, it went well. Slot 1, the RC part to be moderate. Yes, the RC part was indeed moderate. Uh, why was it moderate? Because while there were a couple of easy RCs, again, as we discussed it, right? Based just like at 2021, while we had a couple of easy RCs, but there were moderate and difficult RCs too, right? I think the fill in the blanks question, the basically the sentence completion questions, para completion questions, I should call them, that you got, those were really sitters, and you should have attempted them. So whenever there's a surprise, the surprise usually tends to be easy, isn't it? A very good noon, good afternoon, Akshay, Disha, Ayushi. Right, so I have this slide right on my screen, so I'll just talk about this right away. There's a MICA 2023 exam analysis that we are going to conduct on 3rd of December, right? This will happen at 2:30 p.m. So do join us in case you're taking MICAT and you want to know how the paper was, what should be the cutoffs, so to say, right? What are the good attempts? All of that we are going to discuss on December 3. Right. So let's talk about our session for the day, which is score 15 on 15 in SNAP General English. Right. So our focus is on SNAP today. Right. The exam is just around the corner. I'm sure all the preparation that you've done for NMAT, that you've done for various non-CAT exams is going to come in handy for SNAP as well. Yes. Just a second. Let me see. Hi. Hello, everyone. A very good noon. All of you were just joining. This is a Snap class, but a Snap class, right? We are going to discuss Snap today. Snap General English, right? So we'll talk about what is the ideal time for attempting General English questions. We'll discuss some important grammar areas and we'll practice question types, important grammar question types, right? We'll also talk about how to prepare for vocabulary in these remaining days. And of course, again, we'll practice various important question types. This should be practice SE. Somehow, Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, all these MS products, they changed this SE to CE because of American English, right? When we use it as a verb, here's a grammar lesson right in the beginning of the session. The spelling should be SE. When we use it as a noun, then the spelling should be CE. This distinction is observed in British English. Okay, it is not observed in American English. All right. So let's talk about our session for the day. NMAT exam. Okay, so if you have your NMAT exam, right? See, vocabulary and grammar is something that's going to come there as well, right? NMAT, SNAP, these are vocabulary and grammar intensive exams. So, this is something that is whatever I'm telling you, in fact, that's very general for vocabulary and grammar and will help you in all the exams that ask you vocabulary and grammar. Okay. Okay, so Sham, for the last 2 years, RCs have not appeared in Snap, right? If everything goes as per last year, then there shouldn't be RCs. But the name of the section is General English and Reading Comprehension. If you look at the name of the entire section, so we can't eliminate that possibility that RCs cannot be asked. Okay, for the last 2 years, they have not been asked, right? But they can be asked from you. Okay. All right. So just give me a second. Just a second. I'll just adjust my image a little. Yes. Okay. Fine. So now let us talk about SNAP 2021 slot 3 analysis. See, why do I do this? Because this tells me what all question types have come, what all areas have been questioned on, how many questions, okay, what was the level of difficulty, everything you get to know when you look at your previous year papers. That's why it's important to analyze your previous year papers, to practice from your previous year papers, right? So let's have a look. Okay. Most probably, who was that? Okay, I'm so sorry. All right. We can expect the unexpected. Yes, Akshay, that can be the case. Okay. Now, coming to our analysis. So, if I look at Snap 2021 slot 3, so I took this slot, right? I think I got a 14 on 15, if I remember this correctly, in general English. So, one question I got incorrect, I remember. Yes, apart from that, all were correct. So, Parajumbles, one question was asked, just one question, and that was an easy question. You have practiced so much, okay, when it comes to parajumbles, and that too without options. Yes, so this should be a cakewalk for you. Then grammar is something. See, SNAP general English is grammar and vocabulary intensive, something you already know. So sometimes they really go deep into grammar, as in aspects such as active passive voice, tenses, and ask questions from there. In tenses also, they can ask you questions on conditionals. If then questions, right? Those hypothetical conditional questions, those can be asked. In fact, they were asked last year. Parts of speech, all parts of speech you should be well versed with, like countable, uncountable nouns. Questions were asked on this in SNAP also last year, and IFT also last year. So, countable nouns, uncountable nouns, what they are, how they are used, this should be crystal clear to you. Then, prepositions, a very, very important area, not only for SNAP but also for NMAT and XAT. Okay, why? Because questions on prepositions have been asked separately in NMAT also, and they've been asked in the previous years in XAT also. So, you should have an in depth knowledge of your various parts of speech, and not just knowledge, you should have practiced questions on them. If you see, ultimately, at the end of the day, all of these are aspects of parts of speech only. No, tenses also, voice also, preposition also. All of these are aspects of parts of speech. So, tenses is a property of a verb, voice is also a property of a verb, preposition is a part of speech itself. So, you should be very thorough with your parts of speech when it comes to grammar, right? Okay. So let's address these queries one by one, from where we should practice, okay, all of those queries, right? So now that we have established that, I'll come to grammar once again. Just one overview. 15 marks you have to score, and trust me, if RCs do not come in the exam, you can score these 15 marks in 8 to 10 minutes. Okay, you can attempt all these questions that I just showed you. We focused on grammar right now. I'll come to vocab also. 8 to 10 minutes are sufficient for all these questions, because see, you just have to, for instance, let's say, identify which word was a preposition there, or you have to tell me that, okay, what is the part of speech of this word. These questions hardly take any time, right? So similarly, idioms, either you know them or you don't know them, right? When it comes to spotting errors, so spotting errors also, you just have to spot them, you don't even have to correct them. So these are time saving questions. Synonym, antonym, either you know or you don't know. Time saving questions. So 8 to 10 minutes are usually enough when there are no RC passages for your general English. The 5 minutes that you save, ideally, in a 60-minute paper with 60 questions, we have the luxury to spend 15 minutes on English, right? But the 5 minutes that you save, you can spend them on your DILR, on your QA, right? Okay. Can we practice grammar from Ren and Martin? See, yes. These are the important grammar areas. Parts of speech, okay, with a special focus on various nouns, etc. Prepositions, a special focus. Tenses, voice, direct, indirect speech. By mood, I primarily mean conditionals, hypothetical conditionals, if, then, etc. Articles, very important. Students somehow forget articles. That's why I wrote them separately. And the subject verb agreement. Again, this is a very fertile ground for errors. So a lot of questions can be framed from here. So do know your concepts well. And yes, Renan Martin is an excellent source. Somebody's asking this. It's an excellent source, not just to learn the concepts, but there are a lot of fill in the blank questions at the end of every chapter. So particularly for prepositions, let's say, you can practice those fill in the blanks. For voice, you can practice those fill in the blanks. Tenses. So, this way you'll prepare one question type also, and you'll know what kind of errors you can make. Okay. So error spotting का भी practice हो जाएगा indirectly. Fill in the blanks का तो हो ही जाएगा. Yes. So do practice questions also. So Renan Martin is a good source. Yes, agreed. Okay. Now, poem preposition, I'll show you. Sham, I'll show you a question itself. Okay. And that will be clear. Now, they do give sectional scores also, Rishabh. That's how I know my score, right? They do give sectional scores and overall score as well. But yes, there is no sectional time limit. I hope you know that. That's why we are discussing this, no? That in 8 to 10 minutes, you can attempt the entire GE if, let's say, there is no RC. So as you can see, 7 to 8 questions we can expect from grammar, and these can be some common question types: error detection, error correction, fill in the blanks, identification of a part of speech, of voice, etc., and match the following. So let's practice some of these questions, and we'll be quick because see, it's a speed-based game, right? So we'll be quick today. Again, fastest fingers first, right? Let's see who answers the fastest. Error detection. Yes. Tell me which part of this sentence here is erroneous? Varun, I can't say high chance because they haven't appeared for the last 2 years. So we are not expecting them this year as well. I mean, expectation here, but the reality we'll get to know once we see the paper. Nikita, I'll come to vocabulary also. Murali, we have a lot of such videos, and yes, we are coming up with 5 to 6 more such videos in the coming days. So you don't have to worry about it. But in the past also, we've had a lot of vocabulary sessions, 50 words in one session. A lot of such vocabulary videos. You can just check our channel. Okay, just type vocabulary, and you'll probably find them. Yeah. How many questions should I solve in the paper? That entirely depends on how much percentile are you aiming for, how much are you able to currently solve in the mocks, right? So it's not a question that I can objectively answer for you. It differs for student to student, right? For instance, in general English, I try to maximize my score, right? So I attempt all the questions there. Yes. So in DILR, students generally look for the easy ones, the ones that are doable. In QA, they look for their strengths, the areas that they're strong at. Okay, after practicing all the topics. So it entirely depends on what are your goals as far as the percentile is concerned, right? Okay. So question one, I've got my response D, B, C. All right. D, B, C. Guide dogs are service dogs that have been specially trained. So what is wrong here? In B, I don't see anything that's wrong. Guide dogs are service dogs. Okay. You know service dogs, right? Police has some these dogs. The police have these dogs in order to detect bombs at times, right? So they're service dogs that have been, that is appropriate here for dogs. We can use that, right? Animals that have been specially trained to help the visually impaired. Okay, they have been specially trained to help the visually impaired safely navigating their environments. Yes. So, to help the visually impaired safely navigate or navigating, navigate or navigating. Okay, I'll take a session to help you. I'll take a session to help you ace vocabulary or acing vocabulary. What should I say? I'll take a session to help you ace vocabulary. That is what I'll say, no? So to help the visually impaired safely navigate their environments. Navigate their environments. Okay. So guide dogs are service dogs. So these are not the police wala dogs. I thought they're police wala dogs, but then we read this further. They are those dogs that are specially trained to, help the visually impaired. So navigate is the one. Instead of that, we can use they. No, no, we can use they when let's say this were one sentence and then we began the second sentence here. But we're not doing that, right? This is one single sentence. So I can't use they here. Okay. Safely navigate. Again, navigate. Shyam, even if you're saying through, even if you want to add a through, although through is not required, it's redundant. Okay, then also it remains navigate only. Spotting the error and error identification are the same, Ishan. It's just they're just two ways of looking at the same thing, right? The same. Impaired. That would be correct. Anshruta is saying, can we say to help the visually impaired in safely navigating? Yes, that would be correct. In safely navigating. However, again, because we want to be as concise and crisp as possible, this is still better. They help them. They are trained to help them do something. To help them do something rather than to help them in doing something. Why unnecessarily add one word? Right? Navigating through is redundant. Through is not required. No, navigate means to pass through. So that through is inbuilt in the word. It's okay, implied in the word. Clear? I hope I've addressed your queries. So D is the answer here. Okay. And good. All of you who said D. Error spotting. So in error spotting, sometimes you will see such questions wherein, let's say this is not a typical noun question. Here we had to be careful about the form of the verb. Did I need the ing form? Did I need the base form? I needed the base form of the verb here, right? Let's talk about the second question. What do you say? Okay, Sagar. Second question, fastest finger first. Let's see what you say. Okay, I've got a lot of C's. They are looking forward to it the whole week. Absolutely correct. This is an incorrect sentence right here. Okay, and the error is that it should be they have been. So good. I was just looking at the chat box that somebody will give me the correction. Great, great. Good, Murli. They have been looking forward to it. They have been looking forward to it the whole week. When you give the duration, okay, that means something has been happening for a period of time. So when we give this duration for something, okay, here we have not mentioned for, but again, it's a period of time, the whole week. So we need to use either the perfect tense or the perfect continuous tense. We cannot use the simple continuous tense. And this is something that you realize through practice. Okay, so C is the erroneous one here. Good. Third question. Yes. Fill in the blanks with the appropriate option. Congratulations, you made dash mistakes. All right, let's see what you say. Recitals are basically performances, like a dance recital is, wherein they are trying to tell you a story through dance. That's a dance recital. C, B, okay. All right. See, why? Where is okay? So if I'm implying that fewer mistakes than last time, let's say, where is that comparison? I use fewer or let's say less or lesser. Fewer, less, lesser. These are what? These are comparative forms, right? I use them only when there is a comparison to be made, when there is a than there. Or it is implied from the context. Let's say you don't mention the than explicitly here, but then I am familiar with the conversation before this or the situation before this, and I know that there is a comparison there. But I don't know either here. There is no than, and I'm not even familiar with the context. So I can't actually make this comparison. Okay. So, congratulations. When would I congratulate someone? When they would make बहुत ही minor सा या कुछ कुछ बहुत थोड़ी mistakes. Yes. So the word for the negative is few. Few means very little, very less. Okay. So it's a word that shows negligible in a way. A few, on the other hand, is a positive word. Okay. So if I say I have a few chocolates, what I mean is, see, I don't have a lot, but then whatever I have are sufficient for my purpose. Right? It's a positive adjective, so to say. Okay, it's a positive, it has a positive connotation. That's what I should say. Okay, so I have a few chocolates. But if I say I have few chocolates, that means that they're not even sufficient for my purpose. I have few chocolates. है ही नहीं ज्यादा, बहुत ही कम है, right? So here mistakes need to be बहुत ही कम, isn't it? And that's why A is going to be our answer here. Great, great, great. Nishan, I can't predict this. See, if you look at your previous snap, so let's say you look at your last 10-year snap papers, we've had both formats. We've sometimes had RCs that have been short, let's say 400 words also, and there was one year where we had an 800 word RC also. So I can't really predict it. Okay. No, if I congratulate you, how is the comparison implied? Let's say you took a test for the first time and you cleared it in the first time itself. So I'm congratulating you. Congratulations, you cleared it. But that does not mean no that probably you fared better in it than last time. So no, no, no. Correct, Anmol. Few na ke barabar. Right? So A is the answer here. Perfect. Fourth question. Yes. Be careful. Let's see. Let's see. D Delhi. Rishabh says D. Okay. Others need more responses. C. Okay. B. All right. A. Usually they are most of them are direct, usually direct, and even if there are inference questions, they're not very tricky. If I go as per the history, right? A, C, B, D. Okay, I've got everything it seems. So here, see, this is where your conceptual knowledge comes into play. Scissors. There is nothing like scissor. Scissors is the word. Okay, nothing like scissor. Eliminated, eliminated. Now, scissors is always plural, always plural. Okay. So, these scissors are sharp. Okay. Uh, if you say a pair of scissors, then you can say, okay, a pair of scissors is missing. A pair of scissors is missing because there the subject is a pair. पेयर सिंगुलर है तो इसलिए हम इस लिख देते हैं अदरवाइज scissors, trousers, they are all always plural. Binoculars, spectacles. So basically, things that exist in a pair and don't have an identity when separated. If you separate the blades, it loses its meaning, right? If you separate the two parts of the trousers, they lose their meaning. So, trousers, plural. There's nothing called trouser. That's wrong. Jeans, plural. My jeans have faded. Not my jeans has faded. Incorrect. Okay. So I hope this is clear to you. C is the answer here. So conceptual knowledge comes in very handy when solving questions. Question 5. Yes, correct. Correct, Anmol. Correct, correct. And they don't have an identity separately. Na? See, Mandeep, chappals is a different example. It doesn't belong to this category because when you say shoes, you have one shoe also, right? It's not like one shoe means nothing. One, so for instance, earrings also. One earring has its identity. So when something separated has its identity, then this concept does not apply. If it's one earring, it's one earring. Okay. Two earrings, one shoe, two become shoes. So to them, this concept does not apply. Okay. A, C, all right. So we are confused between, okay, no, no, we are getting a lot of C's now. I bought a new sandals does not make sense. Sandals is plural, right? So a cannot come here. Any new sandals. Why any? But I didn't get any sari. I bought, see, any is usually used with negative sentences or with questions, usually. Okay. So, for instance, if I ask you, do you have some money? Let's say I want to borrow some money from you. Do you have some money? You'll say, no, no, I don't have any. You'll not say, I don't have some. I don't have any. Right? So, usually negative sentences. So, I bought any new sandals, therefore, does not make sense. I bought some new sandals. Some is usually used in positive sentences, and those questions which are, let's say, requests or offers. Would you like to have some tea? You should never ask your guest, would you like to have any tea? That would imply that you don't really want to give them tea. You are expecting the answer to be no, right? Would you like to have some tea? Requests, offers, positive sentences, they take some. I bought some new sandals, but I didn't get a sari. Okay, so I didn't get a sari. All right. So C is the answer here, and D cross meant nothing was required. Okay, all right. See, एक मनदीप एक चप्पल से आई अंडरस्टैंड कि उससे पर्पस सॉल्व नहीं होगा, ठीक है, पर एटलीस्ट एक चप्पल एग्जिस्ट तो करती है ना. आपने कभी देखा किसी के यहाँ पे बस आधा ब्लेड ऑफ सिजर या एक ब्लेड ऑफ सिजर्स, you or let's say just one part of her trousers, that does not even exist, right? That was my point there. ठीक है, use is a different thing. Okay, yes, then you can do this, Nandi, very cleverly. You can slip in the any there in the question, right? So C is the point, C is the answer here. Okay, so question 6, Leonardo da Vinci painted the Mona Lisa. We have to convert it to passive voice. Let's see what you say. Convert it to passive voice. Okay. C is what I've got. A couple of you are saying A also, but mostly I've got C's. Okay, perfect, perfect. So let's have a look. Okay, I've got some B's also now. I think I should start discussing this, okay, before you, let's say, give me more answers. So basically, here we have to convert it into passive voice. So painted will be converted to was painted by. Painted is past simple, right? So I can't convert, first of all, I can't convert it to present tense, to past hai. So eliminated. Then this was past simple. Past simple. How can I convert it into past perfect? Eliminated. I can't even convert it into past perfect continuous. Eliminated. C is the answer. The Mona Lisa was painted by Leonardo da Vinci. Okay. Hope this is clear. I think active passive voice, again, it's just a set of rules. Once you learn them, you won't make an error in voice at least. Just it's a simple topic. Same is the case for reported speech also. Direct, indirect speech. Just a set of rules related to, again, verbs only. Once you learn them, you'll not make an error. Right? So just go through those chapters once for your for added benefit, because there was a question on voice last year. Right? C is the answer. Okay, let's have a look at this one. Now, somebody was asking, no, what is poem preposition? So, let's say this is a poem, and I ask you, what is the part of speech of this word, right? So, your answer will, of course, be preposition. So, this is how I have asked you to identify a preposition through a poem. That was the question type there that we saw. Hope it is clear. Now, let's have a look. And this one, what do you say? Natural ka part of speech batana. That's it. It's just a different way of asking a part of speech question only. Nothing else here. Ishan, there are a number of rules. So I think it will take one session to actually explain to you active passive voice. Briefly, in active voice, the doer is the subject and the receiver of the action is the object. In passive voice, the receiver of the action is the subject and the doer of the action becomes the object. So we just interchange. Right? Natural is describing piety. Absolutely correct. And therefore, our answer should be adjective. Okay, natural, piety. Right? So good. Then, if I asked you, let's just go a little deep into this. What is the part of speech of could? The word could is what? Yes. What is it? So let's say these are your options again. What will you mark for the word could? Could is a good, Charu. So Charu has answered this correctly. Could is a modal verb here. If I want to be very precise, could is a modal verb here, right? But yes, because we are given verb, we'll mark verb here. Good, good, good. Okay. Similarly, if I ask you what is the part of speech of my का क्या part of speech है? And let's say again these are your options. What will you say? Yes, Priya, definitely, definitely. I just I come to you. 12 to 1 we have a session, right? On YouTube. So D B, okay. So here see, it's not a noun, definitely. My is not a noun. So we eliminate, right? Now some of you are saying pronoun, but pronoun is not there in the options. Yes. It's not even a verb. It's not describing any action or any other adjective or any other adverb. So it's not even an adverb. Actually, see, I understand that mine is a pronoun, right? My is a pronoun, yes, but it always acts as a possessive adjective. It always acts as an adjective. Because my के बाद मुझे कुछ ना कुछ noun तो चाहिए होता है ना. This is my car. This is my laptop. Right? So actually my describes a noun. My describes a noun, and therefore because it is describing a noun, it's telling me किसका है वो. Right? Possessive. So that's why it's an adjective. And here the answer then would be C. Right? Possessive adjective. My always acts as a possessive adjective because it needs a noun afterwards. Right? So I hope this makes sense. All right. So C is the answer for natural. Okay, we just ventured into other discussions here just to show you what do we mean by identifying various parts of speech from a poem. Yes, let's match the following. Tell me what should be the answer. Okay, A1, this is 1, B2, C3, D4. Okay. Comes before noun. Absolutely correct, Kaushal. Acha, okay. Anmol, I'll clarify that. Don't worry. Let's see what you say. C. Varun says C. So, match the word. Okay, I am so sorry. I should have underlined the words here. Somehow that didn't, I mean, they have not been underlined. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Uh, Let me just tell you what were the underlined words in the original question. This didn't get copied well. Okay, so give me the part of speech of, wait, not even this, looked, okay, underlined word. So looked, I fractured my hand when I fell, okay, when I fell down the stairs, down, okay, then we downed. Acha, I think it's the word down, okay, it's the word down in all the sentences. Yeah, yeah, okay. So the word down has been used in different ways, and you have to tell me which is the correct part of speech. Match the word down. So this down was missing here in the question, right? Okay. So I felt giddy when I looked down. Which is the easiest one? Let's begin eliminating through the easiest one. That's what I do. Okay. So the pillow was filled with down. Okay. We downed 3 enemy fighter planes. So we did something. This is a verb clearly. So C is 4. Now, once I realized that C is 4, I have actually solved this question. So this is how I approach match the following questions. So A is 2. When I look down, down is an adverb here. I'll just explain why it's an adverb and why not a preposition. Okay. Then B is going to be a preposition. I fell down the stairs. I fell down the stairs. Right. And D is a noun here. Okay. Filled with what? Filled with down. right? What does this down mean here? The pillow was filled with down. किस चीज से भरा हुआ था pillow? Yes, I'm using it as a noun here. So where do you have? I mean, where? Why? When do we use it as a noun? Yes, the pillow was filled with down. So it's some pillows are these furry pillows, right? They're filled with these fluffy feather sort of things, which are, by the way, they're not sustainable, right? That is called down. Okay. So now let's have a look at why these parts of speech, why this is an adverb. This is particularly an important question. See, prepositions, actually, a preposition is a part of speech which exists as a phrase, as a group of words. Okay. Now, what does this group of words require? Group किस चीज कौन से words हैं कैसे words हैं? It's preposition plus the object of the preposition. अब ये क्या है? Object of the preposition. We've all heard about object of the verb, but what is the object of a preposition? Usually the noun or pronoun that comes after the preposition. That comes after the preposition and is governed by it. We say that it is governed by it. For instance, if I say, she gave the gift to me. She gave the gift to me. So to is the preposition here and me is a pronoun that is coming after to, right? See, I can't write I here. I have to write me here. Why? Because it is the object. So it's a pronoun that comes after the preposition and is governed by it, meaning it has to remain in the objective case. It can't be a subject. Similarly, she fell down. She fell down what? If you ask the question what, there is a noun there. Yes? This stairs is the object of the preposition down. So a preposition needs a noun or a pronoun that usually comes after it and is governed by it. But if you look here, I felt giddy when I looked down. Down what? If I ask the question what? See, noun or pronoun what का ही answer करते हैं ना? There is nothing that's written here. Okay. When I look down, what? If let's say I had said, when I looked down the hole. Okay, let's say there is this big hole or look down the tube well, right? Now it becomes a preposition because now I have a what? Look down what? Now it is a preposition. So here, because there is no object of the preposition, this is not a preposition. अब ये adverb क्यों है? ये समझते हैं, right? Why is it an adverb? Who will tell me? Looked where? Isn't it describing the verb further? Looked where? कहाँ देखा आपने? Right? So any word that describes the verb is an adverb. That is why this is an adverb. So important to understand what an adverb is. These are words that describe a verb, an adjective or another adverb. Okay. And there is a difference between adverbs and prepositions. Right? ये तो clear है. We did something. We performed an action. So we downed. And this is also clear. We are talking about all the feathers that are there in the pillow. ठीक है? So what should be our answer then? Our answer is pretty simple. Okay, in fact, knowing just this could have actually helped us answer this. So in match the following, always go with those sentences first, which you're sure about, and then just eliminate. Okay, you need not go through each and every sentence very deeply. ठीक है? Yes, good Murli, good. Sham, correct. Okay, perfect. Okay, so this question required quite a bit of explanation, right? But match the following questions can appear, and that's why I chose this one, right? So this was about grammar. Now let's talk about vocabulary. So in grammar, you saw that we've covered so many parts of speech we've covered. We talked about tenses, we talked about voice. There is a pretty comprehensive coverage of grammar, and Snap does ask you comprehensive questions on it, right? What about vocabulary? What kind of questions are asked? Synonym, antonym are common. Fill in the blanks are common. Idioms and proverbs, idioms and phrases are common, right? So you have to prepare for these. Now the question comes, how do we prepare for these? Yes, ठीक है कर लेंगे पर कहाँ से करें? See, at this stage, so some of you might be giving the paper on the 10th, right? So I would not recommend books, vocabulary books to you at this stage. At this stage, I would ask you to make it very practice oriented. Learn from previous year papers, okay? Learn words from previous year papers, as many as you can. Go for vocabulary quizzes. There are so many apps out there, okay, which have vocabulary quizzes. So practice them on a daily basis. Play quizzes. Yes, I'm asking you to play. See, sectional test, mock test, topic test. So practice vocabulary through these. If you want me to give you a word list that, ma'am, please suggest a word list that we can learn from, I think just go for the NMAT high frequency word list. No, it'll help you for both the exams. It'll help you for your NMAT also and your SNAP also. So this is how you should practice vocabulary at this stage. Learn words through questions, right? Okay. Word power made easy, that will take some time. That's why I'm not recommending it. Okay. Chalo. Let's have a look at this question. You have to, of course, give me what word fits here. Yes. Tell me. Fill in the blank. What kind of effects? Shreya, usually the list is available in the NMAT official guide. That's the only legal way to get it. Okay. You have to tell me which word fits here. Okay, C. All right. Adverse. Adverse seems to be the best fit here, right? We are talking about climate change, right? So let's have a look. The compensation aspect involves a legal hurdle of establishing causal relations between the injurer and the victim. Since the dash effects of climate change occur substantially later than greenhouse gas emissions causing them. So basically, we are, I think this has been taken from a newspaper article that was perhaps discussing the COP meet that happened. COP27 it was called. Yes. So that meet, whatever it was called, COP tha na aage, huh? So there they were trying to fix a compensation that, developed countries should actually compensate the developing countries for all the damage that they've historically caused to the climate. So it says that if you want to fix such a compensation, you first want to establish causal relations. You need to establish causal relations, that who is the injurer, who is the victim, right? How much damage has been caused by the injurer to the victim. That only will decide, no, that what the compensation should be. So, since the dash effects of climate change occur substantially later, so how will you fix this compensation? Because the effects of climate change, it's not like they're one-time effects. They keep on happening. So, dash effects of climate change occur substantially later than greenhouse gas emissions causing them. Benign means good, well-meaning, harmless. Okay, harmless, well-meaning. So it does not fit here. Salubrious food, salubrious, okay, used particularly in the context of food. Yes, salubrious. Anji. So what kind of food would be salubrious food? Junk food? No. Healthy food. Yes. So healthy food is salubrious food. So healthy effects तो नहीं लिखेंगे हम. Averse. Averse is used in this context. If you are averse to doing something, you are reluctant to do it. It's an adjective. Okay, so it's only C that fits. Adverse effects. You're absolutely correct. Although this was an easy question, I still wanted to explain the context to you, because let's say there were one more negative word that you felt, okay, that this is also close, then how would you choose? You should know the meanings, and if not the meanings, let's say you don't know the meanings, even if you know that this is a positive word, these two are positive words, you could have eliminated them, right? So C is our answer here. Hope this is clear to you. Okay. Then coming to question number 11. Yes. What do you say? All right. Rajiv says C. Okay. Is it for this question? In the mid 19th century, Japan was forced to end its isolation by signing a series of unequal treaties that gave Western nations special dash in Japan. So, what did they give them? Not tricky, right? Again, not tricky. Special? Of course, they'll get privileges. Good. Absolutely correct. What is privation? Any idea? What does this word mean? Is it positive? Is it negative? In what context have you heard it? Privation. It means when you're deprived of something, right? Poverty, yes. Deprivation. Poverty, deprivation. That is privation. So it's basically used to show how miserable the conditions are when we use it, no? So this does not fit. Primeval. Primeval. Primordial is a synonym. Primordial. Okay. Existing from a very long time. That is primeval, primordial. ट्रीट्स तो नहीं देंगे वो राइट ट्रीटीज हो सकता था यस बट ट्रीट्स तो नहीं देंगे प्रिविलेजेस दे देंगे राइट इट्स नॉट लाइक दे आर पार्टिंग टुगेदर सो सी बी इज द ओनली वन दैट फिट्स again an easy question so sometimes students get deterred by the fact that it's a long sentence and this also appears I mean when you read it you feel like there's a lot to comprehend here but look at the options they were so easy right similarly here also the options were so easy to eliminate b is our answer. Okay, let's have a look at this. All right, special. Just a second. Privileges, it could be multiple privileges, no? So basically, a series of treaties have been signed. A series of treaties. So it's most likely to be plural only, right? So a series of treaties would give multiple privileges, most likely. Okay. 12th, primordial again existing from a long time. So let's say we say this, no, this has existed since time immemorial, something that's ancient, that is primeval or primordial. Jesuman, you'll be surprised that in Snap, a majority of your questions are on the easier side, or at least 50% are definitely on the easy side. Okay, so even if the paper comes out to be difficult, no, 50 to 60% questions Snap में easy होते ही हैं, right? You just have to identify them and attempt them. That's it. Okay, D, A, that's what I've got. Let's have a look. Two blanks. Okay. Considering that India's petroleum imports have risen by a dash 60% between April to October this year, exerting pressure on the currency, lower oil prices, if sustained, could help bring down the import dash, ease the risks to macro and ease the risks to macroeconomic stability. So they will bring down the import dash. They could help in bringing down the import dash. Okay. So the moment I say they could help in something, okay, in bringing down something. So if I'm helping in bringing down something, most likely that's a negative thing, right? Okay, तभी मैं कह रही हूँ कि help होगी अगर वो नीचे आ जाएगा तो फिर benefits और advantages तो नहीं हो सकता आंसर. Yes? Import onus. Onus is responsibility. So which one do you think fits better? Import responsibility or import burden? क्या होगा हमारे ऊपर imports का? Burden, right? So I did not even have to look at the other words, the first blank. I could attempt this question just by looking at the second blank itself. Okay, so this is the beauty of contextual vocabulary. आपको अगर बड़े बड़े words के meanings नहीं भी पता है, then also at times you can attempt the question very easily. So even if you don't know, let's say what ominous is, what whopping is, although these are common words, still you could have attempted this question, right? Whopping used to highlight the immensity of increase in something, huge, whopping, right? Ominous, something that acts as a bad omen, right? Something that predicts that something bad is going to happen, right? That is ominous. Okay, so bad omen, that's how I can explain it, that something bad is going to happen. Staggering, again, staggering is also used to highlight the amount, the immensity of increase. Okay, staggering, whopping. Okay, so whopping, staggering, both could have fitted here, but burden only fits here, right? A whopping discount, absolutely correct, Rishabh. Correct, correct, correct. Perfect. So vocabulary is not that tricky if you know how to group and eliminate, right? How to understand the context. In synonym antonyms, yes, that is basically a very knowledge oriented question that either you know it or you don't know it. But there also sometimes the options can be very easy. So don't leave any question without even glancing at it. कि synonym antonym है तो मैं नहीं करूँगी. No, that's not the approach that you should adopt, right? So let's have a look at the 13th question. Yes. So, yes, we are having a discussion of the answer key, right? It's out, as some of you already stated in the chat box. So, we'll discuss slot 2 QA answer key at 1 p.m. Right? B, C, okay. The guests at the wedding dash for the dining room. What did they do? Imagine you are a guest at a wedding. What do you do? Yes. Imagine yourself in the place of the guest. You would rush to the dining room. You would want to have food. Yes. So you would make a beeline for it. If let's say there are a number of guests, to make a beeline, मतलब line लगा देना वहाँ पर. So to make a beeline for something is to make a move quickly towards it, or make a queue towards it. That is what we mean to make a beeline for something, to move quickly towards something. Right? No, it's not. To make way for someone is, what does it mean? If you make, let's say, you were driving and you saw a visually impaired person trying to cross the road. So you made way for them. What does that mean? What did you do? You allowed them to cross the road. Yes. So to make way for someone or something is to allow them to progress. Right? So made way is not the answer. When you make waves, yes, okay. So if I say, that actor is making waves these days. So what is he or she doing? He or she is actually impressing the audiences with the performance, right? So making a good impression. So that's when you make waves. If you spin a line, there are people who are very good at making cooking up stories. Yes. So if you spin a line, they are trying to lie to you by, let's say, concocting a story. They're trying to deceive you. So that is to spin a line. Okay. So अब इसमें एक ही fit होता है. Yes, I'm just writing down the meanings here. To move quickly towards something, to make a beeline for it, just like bees go together at a place, to create some good impression. Spin a line, to try to deceive someone by concocting false stories, by telling them lies. So to lie in order to deceive. Make ways, allow someone to do something. Right? So only A fits here. So yes, idioms do require some preparation on your part. Okay. If let's say you try to make wild guesses when it comes to idioms, then you may choose the wrong one. Right? In question number 11, okay, if the words rights, what would you choose between rights and privileges? Special treaties have been signed, okay, that would be a tough call actually. So, in the mid 19th century, Japan was forced to end its isolation by signing a series of unequal treaties that gave Western nations special. Then also, I would choose privileges. Why? Because rights as a word has a positive connotation. Yes, uh, we want people to have rights, but here these treaties were unequal. Unequal, when something is unequal, that shows that someone is more privileged than the other person, right? Privilege का मतलब क्या है कि एक lack of equality है society में. Yes, when I tell you you are a privileged person, that means the society in which you live is not an equal society. So then also I would choose privileges, right? But that would be a it would be a good question then, a good difficulty level question then. Okay, good question. Okay. Make a beeline for something. Make a beeline is followed by for. Again, a good question, Risha. We always make a beeline for something, right? So, preposition, as I told you, a lot of times their usage is governed by convention, by custom. ऐसे ही use होती आ रही हैं तो ऐसे ही use होंगी. So, we always use for after make a beeline. Okay? Hope this is clear to you. All right, all right. Let's have a look at this question, the second last one for the day. Yes. What do you say? I know an MBA from a foreign university costs a lot, but so basically this person doesn't really want to think about it right now. That ठीक है expensive, but अभी नहीं सोचना चाह रही मैं इसके बारे में. Yes. So what should be the idiom that comes here? I think I've given you enough clues also now. A, D. Okay, a lot of you saying A. I break the ice. Icebreakers. What does breaking the ice mean? So in various introductory sessions, let's say you start a course, there are introductory sessions there. They are meant as icebreakers. They're meant to break the ice. So icebreaker fit होगा यहाँ पे. So icebreakers does not. Basically break the ice is that when you initiate a conversation by, let's say, finding something common, some common topic, right? Basically the idea is that you want to become familiar, you want to initiate conversation. So that does not fit here. I make bricks without straw. Okay, when you try to make bricks without straw, basically you are lacking the materials. Then also you are trying to build something. So to do something with inadequate resources is to do something with inadequate resources. That is to make bricks without straw. But I make bricks without straw. um, in that case, it would mean that I do something without the appropriate resources, without the adequate resources. So while it may fit, okay, let's see the other options and let's see if there's something better out there for us. Yes. So when you burn your bridges, okay, I have burnt that bridge. When I tell you that, what have I done? Have I literally burned something? So basically, I have come to a point where I cannot go back. Okay, I have come to a point, I've done something that I cannot go back to my earlier state. That is to burn your bridges. So this does not fit here at all. A or C, chalega. ठीक है, A and C eliminated. B and D. Cross the bridge when I come to it is that I deal with a problem when it becomes, when it actually come, basically जब वो आती है, उससे पहले नहीं. Right, so I cross the bridge when I come to it. So that means I worry about the problem when I actually face it rather than, let's say, thinking about it in advance. So if you look at B versus D, here we are presented with a problem. Okay, and crossing the bridge when I come to it is related to thinking about the problem when it becomes immediate, you actually face it rather than worrying about it right from the beginning. So that's why D seems to be a better fit here as compared to A. So this was a good difficulty level question because students can get confused between B and D here, right? So good. D Delhi is the answer. So you need to learn idioms and proverbs. Renan Martin has 2 chapters devoted to this. So that could be one source. The other sources, there are a lot of apps on Play Store, idioms and phrases apps only. You can download them. Okay, learn them from there. Although I think the best way to pick them up is through reading, but that's a long-term thing. Right? So right now, this plus questions. Solve as many questions as you can. Okay, the last question for the day. What is the meaning of the given expression? Yes, जो होगा देखा जाएगा. Yes, 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 yes. There's something related in Harry Potter also. uh, Hagrid makes a statement which actually is equivalent to this only. We'll cross the bridge when we come to it. What is the meaning of this expression? A cat's paw. Who is a cat's paw? किसको हम cat का पंजा बोल रहे हैं यहाँ पे? बताओ. और क्यों बोल रहे हैं? Why are we calling this person a cat's paw? A cat's paw is dangerous, right? Yes. A cat can attack you using its paw. So a cat's paw is a person whom you use for all your dirty jobs, all your dangerous work, right? Let's say I hire an assassin today, okay? And I use him or her to do all my dangerous killings. Okay, I have a lot of political enemies. Okay, I use him to kill all of them. So that person will be my cat's paw. So keeping that in mind, of course, it cannot be a symbol of excellence. What can it be then? Not a benchmark, it's not a standard, right? I'm not talking about any standards here. Benchmark is a standard, not a guide. No, this person is not my guide. I am using this person. So this person is my tool. Okay, so when you use someone as a tool to make to do bad things, right? The ones that you want to do, you do through him or her. That's when that person will be called a cat's paw. Okay, so cat's paw could be a new idiom for you. Then make bricks without straw, burn my bridges. These could be new for you. Apart from this, to make waves is to create impression, good impression. To spin a line, you're spinning lies in a way. So to spin a line, then make way for someone was easy. Make a beeline for something is go with a lot of focus there, move directly towards it. So these were some idioms and phrases that we've done today. So I hope this gives you an insight into how you have to prepare for vocabulary and grammar and the fact that they're extremely important for your 15 GE questions out there. Do practice some parajumbles and sentence jumbles also, as one or two questions from them can appear. Although I feel that if you've taken CAT, then this will be a very easy job for you. Right? So all the very best. And yes, I'll see you in a lot of snap sessions that are coming up. So you need not worry. बहुत सारे vocabulary sessions, grammar sessions होने वाले हैं. Yes, this is our CAT 23 program. Do recommend this to your friends or anybody who's preparing for it. Okay, very comprehensive program. Last lap to snap an IFT. Yes, this has already begun. Tomorrow I have a session with you in it at 7 p.m. So do catch me, okay? And do watch it. Every day we bring sessions to you that are highly relevant, highly focused, right? Stay connected. Yes, we can stay connected via Telegram, Facebook, Instagram, all these social media apps. Okay. Snap score. No, we don't get it immediately after the exam. No, no, Disha. In NMAT we do. Bye bye. Welcome, welcome. Begin is the present tense, began is the past tense. Okay, welcome all of you. Bye bye. See you. Bye bye.